not really cooperating much today. It's keeping me off the main highway. We're not allowed to have bikes on the main highway anyway in this area. But I'm in a place called Sun Lakes, south of Phoenix. It's a Saturday, the weather's really good. And I don't think I've ever seen such a high concentration of golfing communities like anywhere. Like even when I passed through Palm Springs, they had them, but they were really spread out. And here it looks like there's just so many different communities that are really into golfing. I thought it was very cool is that I've seen cyclists coming up and down. So hopefully I'm heading in the right direction. I'm headed south, somewhere close to the Interstate 10, and we'll see how it goes. But this place looks pretty nice. I passed through Palm Springs, like I said, and it didn't quite look like this. It has more of a community feel. Like the civic planners really did a great job here, and Palm Springs has a reputation for having, you know, this great courses and communities, but like you see carts here everywhere. And like I said, I've seen courses everywhere. So if you're into golfing and you think about Palm Springs, I would say give Sun Lakes, give it a shot, check it out. Definitely looks like if you're into golfing, like I said, it's worth looking into. Thank you, Google Maps, for sending me here. Really? All right, everybody, day 7, and I am coming to you from the south side of Phoenix. I had a great couple days of rest at my family's house, and my cousin Junior was kind enough to drop me off at the edge of the city by the I-10. Bad news is cycles are not allowed on the I-10 in this section, so it's gonna add 10 miles to my first stop, and I figure it's probably gonna add a few more along the way. But so far I feel good. I feel well rested. I feel really encouraged of all the support that I got from my family and all the encouragement. That's gonna really help. It's only 10% of the way so far, but everything's good. So cool. That's it. That's the next Chuck Yeager. Oh wait, it's Arizona. That's the next Mark Kelly. So there's a pretty interesting thing about, I think it's interesting regarding Arizona and politics, and that there appears to be a continuing tradition of pilots who end up serving in the Senate. So the great state of Arizona previously had John McCain, who's passed, but he was one of those really incredible Americans that are not afraid to buck the system and live out a lot of the principles that were written by John F. Kennedy in his book, The Profiles in Courage. John McCain was an aviator who was shot down over Vietnam. He was captured, he was tortured, and he came home, I mean, horribly wrecked, and psychologically, physically, because he no longer had the use for one of his arms and couldn't fly anymore. But it didn't stop him. It didn't stop him. His injury actually compelled him to push even harder, and eventually he ended up becoming U.S. Senator from the state of Arizona. He also voted against, in some places, against his own political party. He's a Republican. And it just shows a lot about what the spirit of Arizona is really like. They're not afraid to buck the system. They're not afraid to go against the grain if their convictions are what they are. They're like, they're not gonna buck. And now the newest senator is Mark Kelly, and Mark Kelly also has another incredible story. He has a twin brother, but astronaut, right? Talk about the best of the best. We want the sharpest people to be in our governments, and that's what Arizona produces. So you've got Mark Kelly, celebrated astronaut. I don't know how many missions he did. One of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Then he retired from NASA, and now he is the newest senator from the state of Arizona. And I think that it's great when you have a culture that comes from, for example, the military culture, a culture of not just rugged individualism, but one that is passionate about what they do. And I like them. I know that we're doing this for the Triumph Foundation, but they're very inspiring as well. And I think both Mark Kelly and John McCain would agree to that. So cool. So I met up with Cliff, and he commutes from Mesa to Tucson. I traveled Scottsdale. So how long have you been cycling that commute?
Yeah, I work at ASU. I'm still working there since November.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you teach? Nice. I'm from Cal State. I work for I graduated from Cal State.
All right.
Yeah. I got a bunch of friends that go to ASU. Yeah, it's a great program. What are you researching?
Working on diagnostic devices
Oh, nice.
for infectious diseases.
I used to work in the medical device industry. I used to build laparoscopic devices for minimally invasive surgeries. Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. One of my friends is an engineer for Applied Medical, and another one for B-Bron, so they'll be interested in this. Cool.
Yeah, they got a good program.
Yeah. So, got about 45 miles in, and I'm heading to a place called Picacho Peak. It's been pretty long, the road's pretty rough. It's very, very bumpy, the asphalt's very thick. But I found this tree, so I'm just getting some shade. And I've got about 19 miles towards Picacho Peak, and then I'll decide if I'm going to be staying there overnight or if I want to like push extra hard to get to Tucson. So. Hey everybody, so I'm done for the day, and I came to a place called Picacho Park. I keep seeing Pikachu, like the cartoon, but if you'll see that, it's like this huge peak, and there's a lot of great hiking. Man, I'd love to hike up here, but I can't because then I'd have to secure the bike and stuff like this. So let me show you my setup for tonight. So I've got my bike parked here. It was $30 to come in. They have showers, they have clean bathrooms, but because of COVID, they turned off the water fountains, and there's also these massive water shortages. The park ranger said that they have to truck in the water every day in here. But so that's my setup for tonight. It's my bike. I'll be having a PB&J for dinner, and the tent is right there. So just the fact that I got cleaned up, that I got showered and all that, I think I'll be able to have a really good night's rest. And I wasn't able to get to Tucson because like most of the places that I couldn't get on the main highway, so it sent me like 10 miles out. Then I had to come back down 5 miles and come back another 10 miles. And so normally what would have been a day trip is going to be about a 2-day trip. This place is great. There's so many. We're like in the middle of the Saguaro National Forest, if you guys can see all that. But there's all these families. It smells great. They're all cooking. They're all having their barbecues and stuff. It's really fantastic. And you have like people from everywhere. So there's somebody over there that's got plates from Alaska. There's a family over here that's huge Cardinal fans, obviously because we're in Arizona. Yeah, so it's really fantastic. Well, I keep saying that word. If you're ever in the Arizona between Tucson and Phoenix, I think it's a really great spot. There's nothing here to buy though, because I thought there was a Dairy Queen, but they're like, no, it's across the highway, and the highway is like 2 miles from where I'm at. And frankly, I just don't feel like cycling all the way down there and getting all sweaty and stuff like that. But I'm very comfortable, pretty happy. Please remember to subscribe and like, share with your family and your friends, and remember what this is about. This is about Triumph. It's for the Triumph Foundation. And look, there's so many people here that they can't do what we can, right? They not only can't do what we can, able-bodied folks, but I had somebody say one time they were having a pretty hard day. And she had the audacity, because my sister was talking about her daughter, who's the one in my family that had the injury. And she's exceptional. I mean, even if she hadn't had the injury, she'd be exceptional, right? But then somebody says, I'm having a bad day, blah, blah, blah. And my sister's like, look, let me tell you about my daughter. She's like this, and yet she can still do that. And that person had the audacity to say, yeah, but you don't, I think this is worse. And there was nothing wrong with her. So there's so many people that are so full of excuses that don't want to do anything with their life. They'll read all the right books, they'll go to all the right seminars, but they don't do anything with it. And they wonder why nothing ever changes, right? Lots of goals, lots of busyness, but zero achievement. So when we look at people like in the Triumph, especially the folks at the Triumph Foundation, and those who have suffered spinal cord injuries, the main point is like, that doesn't stop. You set the goal, you accomplish the achievement because you have responsibilities that are greater than you, right? You have responsibilities to your family, to your community, and so on. For me, going on this journey, it's a wonderful revelation. I'm getting to know a lot about myself, and I'd like to share with you, I know this is a little bit longer, but so what? I'd like to share with you is that one of the things that I'm learning is that the size of the challenge doesn't matter when your determination is greater, right? The level of difficulty of a task is destroyed by the level of your commitment to accomplish that task. So if you have a very, very simple goal, something that's really easy, like I'm going to take out the garbage, but you're extremely lazy, that's a difficult task. Right? On the other hand, if you're training because you want to drop 30 pounds, But you're determined to do this over the course of 6 months and be disciplined about it, or 7 months or 8 months, whatever it takes. If you're disciplined, then that goal becomes pretty easy. So it's a matter of the person's determination that determines, that's what I'm learning, that determines how difficult the task actually is. So I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. We're gonna see planes in Tucson. Planes, cool.